Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Raphael Varane will officially be a Manchester United player on Wednesday. Varane was recently training in quarantine in his back garden in Manchester ahead of his medical. He recently got his visa processed. Now, the other week, Manchester United confirmed that they'd reached an agreement with Real Madrid to sign Raphael Varane. Both clubs agreed an initial fee of 34 million, rises up to 43 million with add-ons. Varane will sign a 4-year contract with Manchester United. There's an option of a further year. Manchester United have doubled Varane's wages, so reflecting on that, he will receive £250,000 a week. Varane should be given that number 4 shirt. The other week, Varane posted a farewell message to Real Madrid. Varane could be making his debut for Man United against Leeds this Saturday. So too could Sancho. Solskjaer confirmed that. Varane is our third signing of this summer transfer window. I can assure he will exceed expectations in the Premier League, and at Manchester United I'm convinced he'll replicate what he did in his years with Real Madrid. What a fantastic centre-back partnership that is, Varane and Harry Maguire, because they'll complement each other very well. We went in for Varane back in 2011 under the Sir Alex Ferguson era. We also went in for him back in 2018, because if you do remember rightly, Woodward was prepared to sanction a £100 million move. But yeah, Varane is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. You know, he's highly experienced. He's got a great pedigree as a player. Won a lot of trophies at Real Madrid. He won like La Ligas, Champions Leagues, the Coupe de Rey, FIFA Club World Cups. Back in 2018 he won the World Cup with France and he's won like 79 caps. He was a long-serving player at Real Madrid. He endured 10 years with them. He made 360 appearances in all competitions. His current contract at Real Madrid was due to expire next year. Real Madrid offered Varane a renewal contract offer, but he rejected it. So there you go. I think Man United are going to make another signing in this summer transfer window. It did recently say that Man United will make a third significant signing. Do you think we've got a chance of signing Eduardo Camavinga from Rennes? Eduardo Camavinga will leave Rennes this summer, the coach admits. Eduardo Camavinga's agent, Jonathan Barnett, is pushing him towards Manchester United, but he still prefers PSG. Rennes are prepared to sell Camavinga for around 25.7 million. His current contract at Rennes expires next year. He's made 82 appearances for Rennes in all competitions. He's only the age of 18, so still young. Got a hell of a lot of development in him. Fabrizio Romano came out the other week and said that Man United had direct contact with Eduardo Camavinga. He mentioned that Man United love him and were interested in him. But there has been quite a few midfielders on our agenda. Solskjaer's priority is to get a midfielder in. I give you the news on Trippier yesterday. He said Arsenal have made their move for Trippier to replace Hector Bellerin. Man United have been unable to agree a fee with Atletico Madrid for Trippier. Well, Sky Sports said not so long ago that Atletico Madrid want £34 million. We've already had 2 offers rejected for Trippier. Fabrizio Romano said not so long ago that the Kieran Trippier situation is still very quiet and we're looking to sort out Diego Dalot's future. Marca said recently that Man United have taken the initiative to sign Trippier, and it said Man United will get a deal done for Trippier as details emerge over the personal terms. Trippier expects any Man United move to materialise towards the end of the window. He arranged for his family to relocate back to Manchester. He says Man United already have a Kieran Trippier transfer agreement. Now, quite a few weeks ago it said that Atletico Madrid won't sell Trippier to Man United. Just before that, Neil Custis came out from the Sun and said that Man United were close to signing Kieran Trippier for £18 million. We went in for him back in the January transfer window, but then we cooled his interest. It'd be very beneficial if we could get him in, because Trippier is a right back. He would provide competition for Wan-Bissaka. He's highly experienced and he's proven in the Premier League. Atletico Madrid paid £20 million for Kieran Trippier from Tottenham back in 2019. His current contract at Atletico Madrid expires next year. Solskjaer recently spoke out on Manchester United transfer plans before deadline. Solskjaer did say any more signings would be a bonus for Man United as we approach the final 3 weeks of the summer transfer window. Solskjaer has been very pleased with our transfer business this summer, and I think we're enjoying a very good transfer window because Solskjaer, he's getting the players he wants to recommend in, plus he's getting the backing he deserves. Woodward, he stood by Solskjaer. You know, he said several times before as Woodward that he'll back Solskjaer. And when we was enjoying them bad periods under Solskjaer, Woodward assured that Solskjaer's job was safe. Like I said, Woodward's been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time because obviously he was accountable for how poor our recruitment was. Plus we've overpaid for players in recent years. Like I mentioned on my recent videos, Woodward should have never been put in that position in the first place where he makes the footballing decisions. Too much of a liability. We know Woodward's leaving Man United. Woodward's had a 16-year association with the club. I said the Glazers have been one of the biggest issues at the club for a very long time, but they've surprisingly backed the manager in this summer transfer window. But yeah, they've been persuaded to, obviously, because towards the end of last season, a lot of United fans protested against the Glazers at Old Trafford. You know, the Glazers were planning to scrap the Champions League for that European Super League. Solskjaer did reveal towards the end of last season that the Glazers apologised. It says the Glazers could have been forced to sell Man United, but for only £4 billion. On the 4th of June, which was earlier on this year, Joe Glazer attended a fans forum, his first attendance in 15 or was it 16 years, and he promised Manchester United supporters that Solskjaer would get the funds that are available. The Glazers have put Man United in so much debt. They've been at the club for 16 years. They purchased the club for 500 million back in 2005. Manchester United also made the correct decision getting a director of football in. Because I did say that's one of the structural changes that we needed at the club. John Murtaugh is our director of football. And plus Darren Fletcher, he's part of the club. But yeah, Man United have made 3 signings so far in this summer transfer window. We brought Tommy in on a free. Looks a decent goalkeeper. Brought him in as a backup, didn't we? Heaton did well throughout pre-season, to his credit. Brought Jadon Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund. Sancho to Man United was confirmed on the 23rd of July. And brought Rafael Varane in from Real Madrid. And we spent, is it almost £120 million now? Man United must sell some players now though to buy. Woodward recently warned Solskjaer about that. Brandon Williams looks like he's going to be going out on loan for the season. It's the right decision to put him out on loan because he'll get more opportunities. He'll gain more experience. Williams is our third choice left back. He seldom plays for us. Phil Jones, I'd like him to leave in this summer transfer window. You know, Jones hasn't played for us since January. Plus, Phil Jones has always been inconsistent. He's the only outfield player that's still with us from the Ferguson era. Jones has been a long-serving player at Man United. He's endured 10 years at the club. I heard Newcastle are interested in Jones. It got confirmed yesterday that Axel Tuanzebe joined Aston Villa on loan from Manchester United until June 2022. It's Axel Tuanzebe's third loan spell with Aston Villa. Tuanzebe signed a new contract with Man United until June 2023. There's an option of a further year. But it was the right decision to put Tuanzebe out on loan because he'll get a lot more opportunities, plus he'll gain more experience. So yeah, he's gone out on loan. Diego Dalot, I think we also need to offload him. Dalot was out on loan with AC Milan last season. We brought Dalot in from Porto back under the Jose Mourinho era. Dalot recently had a good game though in that 4-0 win against Everton in pre-season. He scored our 4th goal. He made some very good runs in the game, and plus he made a vital interception. Andres Pereira, I'd like Man United to offload him. He was out on loan with Lazio last season. I'd like us to offload Victor Lindelof, but we're not going to in this summer transfer window. I've got my strong reservations about Victor Lindelof. Always been a static centre half, too predictable and makes too many mistakes. He can have his good games though. We got Lindelof for 31 million from Benfica back in 2017. I'd like Man United to offload Fred because I don't think he's good enough to represent the club. Fred will stay for at least another season. You know, Fred has been subjected to transfer speculation before. Fred's had his good games at Man United, he's also had his bad games. But I do have my reservations about him. We overpaid for Fred. We got him in a deal worth 52 million from Shakhtar Donetsk. I do want Matic to also go because I've got my strong reservations about him. But I think he's going to be staying with us. Not long term, obviously, from now. Matic has been at the club around 4 years now. We got him for 40 million from Chelsea back in 2017. I'd like us to offload Anthony Martial. There's a very, very good chance that Man United are going to offload Anthony Martial because recent reports have said that Man United are ready to sell Martial for £50 million. Inter Milan want Martial to replace Romelu Lukaku because Lukaku has gone back to Chelsea. He said we are happy to loan Anthony Martial out as long as Inter Milan agree to include an obligation to buy in the deal. Everton have also been interested in Martial. Martial is no longer good enough to represent the club. I have my concerns about him. Martial has been at Manchester United for 6 years. He's got 3 years left on his contract. He scored 78 goals for us in all competitions. We got Martial in a deal worth 58 million from Monaco back in 2015. We paid £36 million up front. Last season, Martial was out with a knee injury for a while. He's had 2 good seasons at Manchester United. He was good the season before last, and he was good in his debut season under Louis van Gaal. And Jesse Lingard, I wanted to offload him, but Solskjaer recently said that Lingard is staying. We've been struggling to offload Jesse Lingard. Lingard's current contract expires next year. So there you go. You know the news on Paul Pogba. There's a good chance Paul Pogba is now staying at Manchester United because PSG are eager to distance themselves from Paul Pogba. PSG have signed Messi. PSG offered him a 2-year contract, or was it a 3-year contract worth 25 million. Not so long ago, Pochettino played down PSG's interest in Pogba, and Pochettino got quizzed on Paul Pogba's transfer from Man United again. He said, PSG were willing to offer 45 million for Pogba. He did mention that PSG have been the favourites to sign him this summer. PSG have held talks with Pogba's representatives. Said PSG want to partner Pogba alongside Wijnaldum in their midfield. And at one point it said Pogba wanted to go to PSG. Reports from France recently claimed that we are demanding an increased transfer fee for Pogba should he leave this summer. Says we want at least £63 million. Not so long ago, last week was it, Mino Raiola offered Liverpool the chance to sign Pogba, but I'm very sceptical he'd go to Liverpool. Solskjaer recently revealed that he had positive discussions with Pogba over his future. Pogba's in no hurry to sort out his future, and the Telegraph did say last week that Pogba will start the season with Man United, then he'll make a decision about his future before the 31st of August. Fabrizio Romano said not so long ago that there's big chances that Pogba stays at Man United this summer, and we're confident in extending his contract. Man United stars have been working hard to persuade Pogba to stay. Pogba's current contract expires next year. Now, the other week it said Pogba rejected a new contract at Man United. Sky Sports said Pogba was increasingly unlikely to sign a new Man United contract. And Solskjaer did come out and say that Man United remain in talks with Pogba's representatives over a new contract. Sky Sports did say not so long ago that Pogba sees a long-term future at Man United but may wait on the contract extension. Pogba's a good player. He produced good performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season, but at one point last season he was out with a thigh injury for a while. We certainly overpaid for him. We paid 89 million for him, so reflecting on that, he's our most expensive signing at the moment. He's won 3 trophies at the club, and he's enjoyed 5 seasons at Man United since he rejoined. Well, it said for Man United to sell up, we'd have to pay Pogba 15 million in wages. Mino Raiola has been working hard to get Pogba out of the club. He did a lot of talking last season. Donny van der Beek, I'm expecting him to get a lot more starts this season. Than he did last season. I recall Van der Beek just starting 4 games in the league last season. Most of Donny van der Beek's appearances came from the bench last season. Solskjaer recently said he hopes Van der Beek hits the ground running after he did return to pre-season training not so long ago. Van der Beek's only enjoyed 1 full season at the club. He has been subjected to transfer speculation. We got Van der Beek in a deal worth 40 million from Ajax last year. He's got a contract with Man United till 2025, and Van der Beek's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. The new season is going to be absolutely massive for Solskjaer, and I think he is aware of that. Because Solskjaer has got big expectations to exceed. Solskjaer's ambition for the new season is to win the Premier League. These United fans that are sceptical we're going to win a title under Ole. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, which is 8 years ago. Solskjaer recently talked up Manchester United's title hopes. He knows the pressure is on. Solskjaer made an admission saying that Man City are the favourites, but he said the title race is open. Can Man United win the Premier League this season? I said I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. I certainly think we'll be up there. I think the signings of Varane and Sancho do turn Man United into title contenders. This season is Solskjaer's 3rd full season as Man United manager, because he's enjoyed 2 full seasons at the moment. Solskjaer does have to win a trophy though this season, because he's not yet won a trophy as Man United manager, and we haven't won a trophy since 2017, and that's nowhere near good enough to our standards. Solskjaer has been in charge of Manchester United now for almost 3 years. And reflecting how long he's been at the football club, he has gained some managerial experience and he's learnt quite a bit on the job. The other week, Solskjaer signed a new contract with the club until 2024. There's an option of a further year. I presume a lot of United fans disagreed with us giving him this new contract because he won't see out this new contract. You know, despite the signings of Varane and Sancho, doesn't change my perception on the manager. I still don't think Solskjaer's a long-term manager for Man United, and I think a lot of United fans will agree with me on that aspect. But we adore Solskjaer because at the end of the day, he's a club legend. He endured 11 years as a player for Man United. He flourished under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance. Solskjaer has signed 13 players now as Manchester United manager, and I think in total he's spent just over £400 million in the transfer windows he has endured. You know, Solskjaer's got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he's come in, which he knew he had to do. I like the way Solskjaer develops the youth. Solskjaer's more or less given everybody their chances to express themselves, including the young players. You know, Solskjaer's got us to like semi-finals, got us to the Europa League final last season. That was his first major final as Man United manager. He got us to the FA Cup quarter-final. Got us to second place finish last season. In his first full season, he got us a third place finish. And we have enjoyed good periods under Solskjaer where we have seen consistency. Solskjaer is our best manager since Ferguson, despite me criticising him a lot during his managerial tenure at Man United. But like I said, when we are inconsistent and when we've been inconsistent, not all the blame has stemmed from the manager. Obviously, all has been accountable for certain things, but obviously some players have had to take responsibility. Because there's still certain players at Man United that are not good enough to represent the club. Like I say, I hate the way the football club has been run for a long time. So yeah. But you've got to turn around and say Solskjaer's done a pretty good job to say the current squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager, because he was inheriting a lot of the deadwood. And he's still inheriting some of the deadwood now, and Solskjaer knew when he'd taken over it was going to be a massive job, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin, and he knew he had a lot to do when he came in. You know, Solskjaer, he's managing one of the biggest clubs in the world, but it's beneficial because he knows the club through thick and thin. So he appointed Solskjaer, and in December 2018 he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. We're given the job permanently back in March 2019, reflecting how well he did as the interim manager. So yeah. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.